Alright, this is Sierra and I'm going to be showing you how to add a white border and your name to your headshot. First you're going to need some kind of Adobe Photoshop. They can be found on all the computers in the computer labs under the library, so like the PC lab and the Mac lab. What I'm using is kind of a dumbed down version of Photoshop that's on my own computer, and this is the PC version. So you're also going to need a headshot. Go ahead and under File, just open up your headshot. You're going to want to make sure that it's 8 by 10. This one is already 8 by 10, so that's awesome. You can tell by checking the rulers. If you don't see rulers, just go up to the View tab and make sure that the little check mark next to rulers is on, and that'll show you the size. Next, you're going to want to zoom in. If you're not already 8 by 10, what you're going to want to do is go to the rectangular selection tool, turn this mode onto fixed ratio, and then type in 8 as the width and 10 as the height. That'll allow you to select a perfectly 8 by 10 frame, then go up to Image and Crop, and then you'll be 8 by 10, which is the correct size for the headshot. I don't need to do that on this one though, since it's already the right size. So the next thing you're going to do is just zoom in and go up to the corner. If you click in the ruler and drag down, you'll start creating a guide. And you want to make your guide a 1/4 inch away from the edge. So you can see that on the ruler over here, which this is why it needs to be zoomed in, because if you're zoomed out, it's really hard to see where that 1/4 inch mark is and get it lined up well. Then you pull one in from the side the same way as you did from the top. Make sure that that's a 1/4 inch up here. And the same thing on the other side. You just grab in the ruler, click and drag out until you get your guide positioned on that 1/4 inch mark. On the bottom, I chose to do 3/4 inch border. I don't know if that's like the standard size, but that seemed about right from other examples that I looked at. So now your picture should look like this, and I'll just have these blue lines around it. These blue lines aren't really on your picture, it's just a way that Photoshop helps you see what you're doing. Next, this is for every Photoshop project. When you just open a picture, it'll start as a locked layer. So you're just going to want to double click on that and it'll unlock it. It'll get rid of that lock icon in your layers, because if you have that on there, it won't let you do anything with it. Next, you're going to want to create a new layer, which should be a button down at the bottom of the right hand side. You're going to want to take the paint bucket and just pure white, which can be achieved by clicking on this little thing if it's not already white, and then just color in that whole layer pure white. Next, you're going to want to take the rectangular selection tool again, start up in one corner of your guide line. Oh, for this you have to turn the fixed ratio just to normal. You're going to start in one side of your guideline and pull it down to the other side of the guideline, and it will snap to those guides. So that's what's really helpful about those, is you don't have to eyeball the right size. Then you need to click on the Select tab and Inverse. You can also do that with Shift-Control-I. So now instead of selecting this, we're actually selecting the border itself. Then in the Layers tab, you're going to want to hit Add Layer Mask, which is this like circle inside a rectangle, and that'll cut out the middle of that border. The only problem with this is that there is a little bit of the top of her head that's cut off here. So we're just going to want to take the Move tool, grab the original headshot, and position that corner into the corner of the guides, and it will snap to that. So it's pretty easy to get it lined up straight. Next, you're just going to take the lower corner, and if it doesn't let you do this right off the bat, if it doesn't let you move it in, you just need to press Control-T on your computer or Command-T if you're on a Mac, and that'll allow you to alter the size of the picture, and then just drag that in until it snaps to the guide. So now all that's cut off is a little bit down at the bottom, but that's not really as important as seeing the top of her head. So that's about as close as we're going to get. Actually, I think I did a bad selection here because you can see a little bit of gray. I don't think that this snapped to the same spot on the guide. Okay, so now you can't see that grayed out line anymore. So now it's positioned correctly. The last thing you're going to want to do is add your name. So you click on the text tool, which looks like a T over here, and then click vaguely where you want your name to be, type it in, and let me try to get it back over where we can see it. Okay, so to alter the text, you need to click within it and then hit either Control A or Command A if you're on a Mac to highlight the whole name. And then you can change the color of your name right here with this tool. You can change the size right here. You can change the font right here. We'll say that's good. One thing we do want to change is the alignment, which is just like it is on Microsoft Word. We're going to left align this one, and then we're going to go back to the Move tool and start dragging it over. And again, the beauty of these guides is that your name will snap right to where that edge is. So now it'll be perfectly lined up with the side of your picture. Say we want the name on the other side, we can just go back in with the text tool, click inside the name, Control A, and change the alignment to right align, and then we'll drag it over to this side, and it'll snap onto that guide, and it'll be perfectly lined up with the white. If you want to see what it looks like without the guides, you can just go up to View, check the check mark next to Guides, and you can see a preview of what your picture is going to look like. Finally, when you save it, you go up to File, Save As, and if you probably do want to save a version of it where it's a Photoshop file, because if you ever want to change anything about it, like change the font or the size of your name, this saving it as a Photoshop file will allow you to open up this project exactly as is right here and alter anything about it that you want to alter. But if you want to get this printed and put it, say, on Walmart Photo Center, you will not be able to put in a PSD Photoshop file. You will need to put in a JPEG file. So you can just go to this drop down, change it to JPEG, and this will save essentially a copy of your photo, which will be compatible with ordering an actual print of this photo or putting it online or anything. I would recommend saving both a JPEG and a Photoshop copy of your project so you can use the Photoshop if you ever need to change anything about it, and then use the JPEG when you need to actually print it out. Then click Save, and then just hit OK. So that's how you add a white border and a name to your headshot. Hope that helped out.